raw side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you
from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria,
giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
Core TV News, expanding your view.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us on Core TV News on the hour. I am Ebulomo Adekunle. Boko Haram has released a new video showing the missing schoolgirls, saying they would not be released until all militant prisoners are freed. The group leader, Abubakar Shekau, made the statement in another video before showing what it says were the girls. A total of 276 girls were abducted on April 14 from the northeastern town of Chibok. 223 of the girls are still missing. The footage shows about 130 girls in black and gray full-length hijabs sitting under the tree. Most of the girls were seated and appeared calm. One of the girls said that they had not been harmed. There is no indication of when the video was taken, although the quality is better than on previous occasions. Nigerian government and the international community were forced to act after Shekau threatened to sell the girls as slaves. In the video, Shekau appears in front of a lime green canvas backdrop, wearing combat fatigues and carrying an automatic weapon. The militant leader says Boko Haram brothers in arms had been held in prison for up to 5 years and suggested that the girls would be released if the fighters are freed. Boko Haram has used kidnapping of women and young girls in the past, and Shekau indicated that more were being held. The federal government may have turned down a prisoner swap offer made by Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shekau. The leader of the insurgents group had in his latest video offered to free hundreds of schoolgirls abducted by his group in exchange for Boko Haram members in custody. But Interior Minister Abba Moro says the insurgents are in no position to set conditions for the government. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has condemned the abduction of more than 200 schoolgirls in government girls' secondary school Chibok. Obasanjo made the condemnation during the signing of a memorandum of understanding with the Jigawa government to adopt a junior secondary school and a primary school in Kudai Dutse. He appealed to the abductors to release the girls without any condition because the girls were innocent and should not be made to suffer unreasonably. The former president sympathized with the parents of the girls, saying people should not be discouraged to send their female children to school. He said Nigerians should see what happened as a stumble and not a fall, and were challenged to give their girls good education. Obasanjo prayed, expressing hope that the girls would be found and delivered to their parents. A non-governmental organization, Women Arise, has joined in the global protests demanding the release of the abducted girls from Chibok. The protesters marched to the Lagos State Government House to deliver a letter to the federal government. Oluwaseyi Adegoke covered the protests. Her report is presented from our studios.
Protests have continued across the world over the abduction of 200 schoolgirls from Chibok. Leader of Women Arise, a non-governmental organization, Joe Odumaki, expressed deep concern over the abduction and called on the government and everyone to join in the fight against Boko Haram.
We are tired. What we want to see is action. And so the governor of Borno State, we've had enough of talks. We want our girls rescued now, and they must be rescued alive. That's the only thing that will put a smile on our faces.
Very disastrous. It is something that everybody must rise to do something about. We must all fight to ensure that these girls are released.
We have to come together as one. We need both the foreign and we Nigerians to come together. The foreigners are here in conjunction with Nigerian military and our government to look for a lasting solution on how to rescue these girls and end terrorism.
We shouldn't see terrorists as our friend. So it's for every one of us, not only Nigerians, even in the whole world, to understand that this is a war against humanity.
We don't even know what is going on in Maiduguri. We don't have footage on a daily basis of what is going on in Maiduguri, in Yobo, in Borno. We don't have footage. We have footages after, maybe 2 days, 3 days after. You, the journalists, too, must be on standby to report and let us know what is going on in our country.
In a letter to the federal government, Odumaki proposed a scholarship for the girls when eventually rescued.
The government of Nigeria must ensure that every one of the kidnapped girls is rescued and award them full scholarship to complete their education, to serve as inspiration to millions of young girls in the northern part and elsewhere in the country.
She says the organization will continue to protest the abduction till the girls are released, or else they will go into the forest themselves.
Ultimately, when it's close to the time our people will protest naked, that is when we'll be ready to move to Chibok.
Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola promised to deliver the organization's letter to the federal government. He expressed hope that the release of the girls will foster unity among Nigerians.
Chibok is a very dark experience for our nation. It is a difficult time for our nation, but it may yet be our most defining moment. And it will be defining if we can find the children. It will be defining if after that happens, we can keep this sense of brotherhood and sisterhood alive.
As the protest continues, Boko Haram released a video showing the abducted girls and promised to exchange them with imprisoned militants.
The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has dismissed an appeal in which two members of the House of Representatives, Farouk Lawan and Boniface Emenalu, challenged criminal charges filed against them by the federal government. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission filed a 7-count charge against Lawan and Emenalu, former chairman and secretary of the House Committee set up to investigate the management of fuel subsidy after they were accused of demanding and collecting $620,000 bribe from a businessman, Femi Otedola. Lawan and Emenalu allegedly demanded and collected the bribe in order to exclude the name of Otedola's company, Zenon Petroleum and Gas, from the list of companies found to have allegedly defrauded the federal government of billions of naira. The lawmakers approached the appellate court to challenge a ruling in which the Abuja High Court, before which they are facing trial, dismissed an application they filed in a bid to quash the charges brought against them. In the latest ruling, the Court of Appeal held that the two lawmakers had cases to answer as there was sufficient evidence linking them to the charges. Ordering Lawan and Emenalu to return to the Abuja High Court to face trial, the appellate court also ordered an accelerated hearing of the case against the lawmakers. Police authorities in Abuja say they are not against peaceful rallies and assemblies. Police spokesman Frank Umba says that police personnel are duty-bound to enforce fundamental human rights. Umba disclosed that the Inspector General of Police has directed zonal and state command officers to ensure that people embarking on rallies and other peaceful demonstrations are provided adequate security. He also wants leaders and organizers of such rallies to work with the police to ensure the safety of participants and orderliness of the exercise. Nigeria security agencies have paraded 5 suspects who they say carried out the April 14 bomb attack on Nyanya bus station on the outskirts of Abuja. The suspects are Ahmed Rufai Abubakar alias Abu Ibrahim, Muhammadu Sani Ishak, Yao Seidu alias Kutarama, Anas Isa and Adamu Yusuf. Spokesperson of the State Security Service, Marilyn Oga, says at a joint press briefing that the car barman was the mastermind of one Rufai Abubakar Tsiga, a Boko Haram leader who is currently on the run. She added that the Boko Haram leader was assisted by another suspect, one Aminu Sadiq, who was identified as a student of the International University of Africa, Sudan. Both men have subsequently been declared wanted and 25 million naira ransom placed on the Reds. You're watching Core TV News on the hour. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with more reports. Don't go away.
On the day list this morning, Nigerians encourage corruption, cites June first of the Punch newspaper. A new Nigerian Governors Forum calls for Okonjo Iweala's resignation. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper.
The dailies every day on Core TV News.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Thank you for being there with us on Core TV News on the hour. For more information on our news and other programs, visit us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Core TV News. On Twitter handle @CoreTVNewsNG. Also on YouTube, www.youtube.com/Core TV Space News. And now to Ukraine. The European Union rolled out more sanctions over the Ukraine crisis, adding 2 Crimean firms and 13 people to an existing blacklist. Lithuania's Foreign Minister Linkos Linkevicius says the crisis is a Russia-sponsored insurgency. The EU has targeted Russians and Ukrainians blamed for undermining the country's integrity, stopping short of agreeing wider economic sanctions on banks or the energy sector that would hurt many in Europe. Diplomats say there are very big differences over the issue.
Because of the situation in Crimea and the deterioration of the situation in other parts of Ukraine, we expanded the sanctions criteria and decided to add 13 individuals to the list of those subject to an asset ban and travel ban. That brings the total to 61.
That's the news for this hour. Join us again at 12 for more. Thank you for watching. I am Ebunlomo Adekunle.